There's no one-size-fits-all solution for culture. The right culture for your business depends on the people in your team, your beliefs as a leader, the scale and ambition of what you're trying to achieve, and a whole host of other factors. You can't pick up an amazing environment from another company and layer it over what you have. And even if you find the right solution, people change, priorities evolve, and it'll slip through your fingers. It's ephemeral and it erodes fast. As if that's not enough, your perspective as a leader is different to that of the people on your team. You don't experience life at the company in the same way that they do. And that could be down to differences in financial circumstances. It's always fun trying to explain to wealthy CEOs that I need a job to pay my bills is a valid motivator for candidates at entry-level positions. It could be the level of experience and context, or it might just be that you're doing different work to them. The things that are important to those you lead will not always be the same as the things that are important to you. So if you make decisions through your own lens, you're risking missing the mark. Because of those two factors, it's common to see companies spend vast amounts of time, money, and energy introducing perks, benefits, and initiatives that their employees just don't care about. The intention is usually good, but research by Gallup shows that billions of dollars are wasted every year on things that just aren't rooted in employee feedback, so they fail to have the desired effect. Gathering feedback, really listening to your team, is essential to creating a brilliant culture. The actions that you take as a result matter, of course, but even the act of listening itself can lead to greater engagement and increased morale. Studies published in the Harvard Business Review have identified that people who feel that their voice has been heard are 4.6 times more likely to feel highly engaged in their work. If you then act on the input you receive, it sends an even more powerful message to the people in your business that they matter to you. Look, biotech is a high-pressure industry, with drug discovery once being described to me as long periods of desperate despair, punctured by brief moments of incredible insight. Considering how challenging science can be, and how tight deadlines and resources often are, the opportunity to voice frustrations and let off steam is absolutely invaluable. Listening to these gripes and groans, while sometimes tedious, builds trust and psychological safety, which in turn creates an environment that's much more likely to foster innovation. In 2012, Google kicked off their now famous Project Aristotle in an attempt to discover what made some teams more successful and productive than others. The result was clear. In place of the expected outcome, which was strong individual performers, an experienced manager, and greater resources, the project team actually found that the top differentiating factor in driving performance was the level of psychological safety the members of the group felt. Now, this study considered 180 teams in a highly innovative, research-driven, commercialized environment, so it holds significant relevance to biotech companies. So with all that in mind, how can companies actually listen better? Well, surveys are the most common route to gathering feedback, and there's clear value in them. A well-designed survey can give you more than suggestions. It can also provide measurable quantitative feedback that you can monitor over time to see how your efforts at engaging your team are landing. Tools like CultureAmp and Qualtrics have excellent functions for this, or you can just design a Google or Microsoft form and collect the responses yourself. It's important to create as well regular open forums for issues to be raised to the company as a whole, and those will give you a greater sense of which challenges are individual and which are felt across your organization. Now, initially, these sessions can be a bit painful as attendees wait for someone else to raise their hand first, but over time, if questions and feedback are handled well, town halls and similar meetings become lively, interactive, and empowering encounters. Simply talking to people one-to-one is another powerful, if somewhat time-consuming way to collect detailed feedback. And if you want to add a little more structure, turning these conversations into stay interviews can be enlightening. These stay interviews focus on both areas for improvement and on identifying the things that employees appreciate about the company. As an added bonus, the Society for Human Resource Management have discovered that 79% of employees who have had stay interviews feel more valued as a result. Sometimes frustration in the moment fades over time, only to be reignited when the same situation arises again. And there are often small fixes to these recurring issues that reduce the friction for employees. So pay attention for those in-the-moment outbursts of feedback that reveal underlying problems. Managers at every company should hold regular one-to-ones with their team. It's basic, but unfortunately, these one-to-ones often get dropped from the agenda when things get busy, never to reappear. If you've fallen out of the habit, get back to it ASAP. People who have regular one-to-one meetings with their manager 3 times more engaged than those who don't. So, if you want to improve your culture, improve your listening. Get feedback and action it. And just to be clear, this isn't about giving people everything they ask for. Of course you can say no. But listen, give people what they want when they can, and watch your culture flourish.